Did you hit the record button?
I sure did.
Okay.
It's good. It's real good.
All right.
Why didn't you count me off? I like it when you count me off.
You want me to count you off?
Pick a number.
Feels
70,000.
That'll count down from it.
Oh, okay.
5,279, 5,278.
5,272 minutes.
Why is my CD skipping right now? Give that a little tap there. Get that thing running the right way.
Remember anti-skip protection?
Oh man, that was revolutionary for its time.
That was a big deal.
Or cassettes would just eat it. Those tape decks would just eat your cassettes. Ugh.
Did you guys ever burn a CD with a skip in it and play it on like
show?
your iPod or whatever and just like shake it to make sure it's going to work and it doesn't?
Yep, sure did.
Anybody remember how
Clark.
much those individual like CD players, those like little handheld carry ones, like how big of a piece of crap all of those were?
Yep. Yeah,
Hey.
because if you didn't have anti-skip,
Oh.
man, that was a nightmare.
It
Yeah.
was bad.
But you
Then
had
were
to
just
work with what
listening
you
to,
got.
like the DJ version of it. Quick,
Yeah.
quick, quick.
Hold
Hey,
on, I'll be right
Patrick,
back.
I'm really glad that Clark found his dad. And then we lost Patrick.
Yep, he's gone.
All right.
So apparently we're not doing the episode right now.
Oh,
or
he's
maybe
back.
or maybe we are.
And he's back.
Oh, what were you really glad about?
Uh,
That Clark found his dad.
Oh, yeah. He found me and then just left the door open. Why?
Wow. Rude.
I
Was
know,
he
right?
born in a barn?
That's exactly what my mom used to say.
or as they say in my neck of the woods, a ban.
A barn? What, you barn in a barn?
Ban. That's where you
Ban-
pack. That's
ban
where
in
you
the
pack
ban?
your can.
You
Speaking
smack-
Cackney.
You smacked. Oh my gosh.
All right, let's get this party started.
Oh,
What?
Almost earned that explicit tag.
So close.
Wait, what did I almost say?
I don't know.
Nothing.
I didn't think so. I said, let's get this party started.
Okay.
All right.
It's going to be wicked awesome.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters. No, that doesn't work at all.
Nope. And you cut out.
Good. I'm glad that cut out because I didn't want to keep going with that.
Okay.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters. On this episode number 152 and part 2 of the GMG MAFT 100 of the Good Morning Guys podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, afternoon, evening, or night as we continue discussing the game of life amidst the other games we love to watch and to play. I'm one of your 4 hosts, the Brazilian Mountaineer and Transition Ninja, Lucas Ham Swisher. Also with me, the judge, jury, and executioner of fake news and spoilers, Patrick Novacell.
Hello.
Hello. On his left and my right, the volleyball and beast of the east who can make you laugh in 3 words or less, or your money back, Ronnie Johantis.
here.
Present. And then the final member of the GMG Quadfecta who's got music in his heart, Apex Legends on his brain, and La Carreta in his old stomacho, Marc Boucher. Yep. Just
He's
like last
muted
week.
again.
Love
I'm
it.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Cutting him out of the podcast.
Saw that coming. Nice one, Mark.
You can hear me. It's a miracle.
Yay. It's a Christmas miracle. Well, since we can hear you before your mic just decides to cut you out again, we might as well let you give your update since yours was unceremoniously deleted last week. So
Deleted.
It was
your
erased from
your
existence.
silent update. So, Mark, what's been going on, my friend?
You remember that scene in Back to the Future where Marty is on stage playing the guitar and he starts to like disappear? Yeah, it was me.
That was you.
Well, you just disappeared all the way.
Yeah, you did.
That's true. I didn't make it. They didn't kiss at the dance and fall in love.
You hit the record button and disappeared.
Yep. Oh, okay. So my week, I guess my last 2 weeks have been pretty good. One thing we talked about, but you guys didn't get to hear about, was watch the Olympics, which was fun to watch. I watched it till like midweek last week, and then I just kind of fell off, especially when I found out that Simone Biles kind of, stepped away.
Yeah.
Which I get the reason. I get the reason why she stepped away, and that's totally fine. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, you think about how much of the world stage, literally the world stage, she is on, and you think about like, nah, I'm just gonna have to back out, and like, I get it, she did it for health reasons, mental health reasons, but like, I just can't imagine just stepping out of something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
she's had plenty of. She has a huge career. I mean, she's had
Oh, geez. Yeah.
so many accomplishments. So I mean,
in gymnastics, she is called the GOAT. She's
Yeah.
the Michael Jordan of her
Yeah.
area of sports and expertise. So, yeah.
It is not even close.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, and like she apparently like she was like physically and mentally showing signs like and her all of her routines that she does are like super dangerous if you're not in the zone mentally. One wrong move and you're done. And so I get it, but it's just crazy to think about. But I mean, the Olympics themselves were a lot of fun to watch. For some reason, I would always tune in whenever they were either swimming or playing volleyball. I don't know why, but
Those are good ones.
I feel like there's like 3,000 different types of swim races like in the Olympics.
There are.
Like it's just like nonstop for like 30 days.
So in this one, we're going to go midway, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to go all the way, and then we're going to go to the middle, and then we're going to come back.
And then right
This
in the
time
middle
you're only
of
allowed
it,
to
it's
use your
going to be
left arm.
synchronized swimming in the middle of it.
It's like watching them play horse. It's like...
And then polo. We're all going to play Marco Polo.
Now that's an Olympic sport I can get behind right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Off the backboard, around the... No. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun to watch. I don't typically watch the Olympics, but this year I just was kind of in a mood to watch it and be a part of it, which is funny because I guess this was like the lowest watched Olympics in like quite some time. Like their numbers dropped big time, but
I'll be
which is
honest, I have not
crazy.
been watching a lot.
yeah,
I don't know what it is. I just
I
haven't
just
got the fire to
watched-
watch it.
You missed it. Today they did handball championships. I don't know if you've ever seen handball before,
That's
but that
crazy.
that
I have
sport,
watched it.
it's like rugby crossed with soccer, crossed with basketball, and it's wrapped up in one like fierce sport. It is
Yeah.
insane.
Just gladiators.
It really is. I was trying to figure out what the rules were. I mean, there's no rules. I
There
mean,
are no
there's
yeah.
no fouls at all.
Yeah, I know for us, we watched the opening ceremonies, and then there was like one or two nights we tried to watch like highlights or watch some of the competitions. And I think because we watched the London Olympics back in 2012 in Brazil, and then in 2016 we watched the Rio Olympics, and we used the local channels. We use the Brazilian networks, and they don't do commercials. They just show the events.
That's pretty
And
cool.
That is
They
pretty
let
sweet.
you just watch the events. Like they don't focus on just one country, so you can watch all the different countries. You can go to like they have a section of the TV Guide or Dish Network or whatever they use where it's like a dozen to 24 channels and you can choose from. And watching the American, like on Peacock, the American channels do their thing and have commercials every 5 minutes,
Oh,
and only American, like 9 out of 10 times American events. I was
And we're
like,
greedy.
really? Is that what we're going to do? We have all this time to work with and we're going to focus on that. And so I know for Mindy and I, it was kind of hard to just keep watching because, I mean, not only was it commercials every 5 minutes, it was the same 3 or 4 commercials every 5 minutes on Peacock or the Olympic website, whatever they use. So we kind of trailed off. Still supported the USA, Brazil. I know Brazil reached double digits. Woo! With I think they're at 10 medals now. But yeah, so
I don't know.
still
how many
love the
US
Olympics.
has.
What they represent. They're at the top. They have like 57, and I think China has 54.
Wow.
China has more golds, but US has more overall medals, which is actually usually the case.
Gotcha. Go
We like
USA.
to spread it out.
Actually, it
Good
looks
job,
like as of right now, China has 29 gold medals and the United States has 22.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But we
so
do
I
have the
know
most overall medals
Yeah.
at 64, and China has
Oh, it's-
62.
Up to
Come up.
64, 62.
Nintendo
Nice.
64.
Yeah, we're killing
Yeah.
everybody in silver.
Nice.
Yeah, baby. First loser. That's
Yeah.
right. Got it.
If you're not first, you're last.
But yeah, so I was watching the Olympics all last week. I think a couple of weeks ago I played some Apex on stream, which was a lot of fun. Played with some randos.
Yeah, randos.
Yep. And I also got to play with the fam. Got to play a new board game. And I know you guys have. This is old news for you guys, but for the joiners out there, I was playing a little game called Happy Little Dinosaurs, where basically it's a card game, but it has like everybody gets like a little mini board that has like one of those paths like you would on like a typical board game. You have to go from start to finish.
Like Candyland.
Yeah.
Chutes and
Except
ladders.
the dinosaurs eat you. You're the candy.
Yeah. And basically
Nice
that's your
twist.
escape route from all the disasters that are going on. You're trying to escape all of that. So it's kind of like a battle royale, because the point of the game is either to get to the end of your path or be the last one standing, because each round you all have these cards there. They have different number values on them. So you each put a card down, and then you face down, and then you all have to flip them over, and whoever has the highest card gets to move that number, spaces on their card, and the lowest has to accept what are called disaster cards. And if you get there's 3 different types of disaster cards, and if you get 3 of the same kind or all 3 different sets, 3 of the 3 sets, then you are out of the game. So it's either
You did.
Yep.
Did you win?
I have not won yet, which is sad. But there's still
Come on.
plenty of time.
Velociraptor judges you.
Yeah.
That's the sound he makes when he judges people.
Gotcha. That's fair.
This.
I promise, Velociraptor, I shall be better.
He
So
accepts your apology.
but yeah, that was a lot of fun to be able to introduce that to my family. And then this past weekend, the extended family got together at Outback Steakhouse to celebrate my wife's grandmother's birthday, which was a lot of fun, of course, to see them. But that was pretty much on the IRL side of things. I think that was pretty much it. On the gaming front, obviously I talked about Apex, but this past weekend was all about Halo Infinite. I was invited to what they called the multiplayer technical preview of Halo Infinite. So it was all the multiplayer side of it, and so it started technically Thursday night, but they had a horrible time trying to get the invitations out to everybody so that they could download the actual game. They were having to try like all sorts of different ways to try to push it out to people, and it just wasn't working. So technically people didn't get to play it until after midnight or so on Friday. But once they got it up off the ground, it worked great. Like they put it out ahead of time that like this is an early build. This build is technically already a month old. We've already done work on it since then, but it's gonna have some issues. It's gonna have some bugs, so just keep that in mind. And I really didn't have that many problems. I think the game crashed once the entire time, and there were some little glitches here and there with the audio and things like that, but otherwise, it played real smooth, and it plays like Halo. It was a lot of fun. Of course, the whole weekend was, with the exception of Sunday night, was mainly bots that you were fighting against. It was all actual real players on your team, but the other side was always bots. Now these bots were not like, crappy, don't know what they're
Pushovers?
doing. Yeah, pushover bots. Like they knew what they were doing. Of course, you would still wipe the floor with them anyway. But like it wasn't like you were completely. It was like completely one-sided the whole time. But I mean, it was a lot of fun. The incremental things that they've done with it are great. The game looks fantastic, just from the build that they have. But I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. Sunday night they actually set it up to do some PvP, which was pretty cool. Of course, I realized quickly how long it had been since I actually played Halo with real people, because I quickly was stomped.
They're like, where are those bots again? Can we bring those guys back?
Let's bring them back in here. But no, it was a lot of fun being back in that. I mean, it's very much an arena shooter, so if that's not your cup of tea, then then it is what it is. But I absolutely had a lot of fun with it.
Good.
Been moving the needle with Death's Door as well. I think I'm about to finish. There's like several dungeons that you go through and beat. I think I'm on the second of 3. I want to say.
Okay, nice.
And still loving that game, but man, there are some points where like I was yelling at the TV.
Difficulty spikes.
Yeah, just because like some of these waves of enemies are ridiculous, and it just seems sometimes like the bosses and things like stuff and stuff like that go on way longer than they should. And I mean, I'm trying to level up my character, because you can level up. There's like a progression thing, a place you can go to level up your character in several different respects.
Yeah.
And I've tried leveling them up, but still, like sometimes it gets pretty brutal.
Is that supposed to be the case where you're supposed to die so you can continue to level up, or?
In some cases, yeah. Just because you have to collect souls in order to upgrade your character.
Yeah.
And there are certain what they call arena modes, arena areas where they lock you in.
Yeah.
And you have to fight waves of enemies. And if you die, you have the opportunity to start it from that point, at the beginning of the battle. And each time you keep the soul, because each time you defeat an enemy, you get their soul. And after you die, you still keep their souls. So you could like spam that thing for quite some time. But it does get a little frustrating at times. Yeah. But I'm still having a lot of fun with it regardless. You just got to push through all of that, and I think it's still a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to finish it.
Nice.
And then today, I played a game that's very similar to Halo, called Splitgate. And Splitgate is an arena shooter. Like in some respects, it feels like very copy and paste Halo, but at the same point, it's if Halo and Portal, the game Portal, had a baby. And
really?
It would be this game. Yeah.
Because I watched a couple videos.
Interesting.
On this game. I could not wrap my head around this game at all. I have no idea how anyone could be able to play this. Did
you play Portal, Patrick?
No, I didn't.
Either of the Portals?
No, I didn't play any of them. Maybe that's to my disadvantage for sure.
You don't have to use the portals if you don't want to. It's just they can be very advantageous in getting from point A to point B. You can also shoot through the portal, and if you set it up to where you put the portal near an enemy, and then put a portal near you.
Interesting.
And you can shoot right at them. You can sneak up behind them, all kinds of stuff. Obviously, you can use it to gain height if you need to, but you don't have to.
Wild. It's wild.
But they have like several different game types that are all like super similar to Halo. Like they have team deathmatch, they have SWAT mode, which is where shields are decreased and headshots are much more powerful. They have oddball, which is a very Halo thing, where basically it's almost like hot potato, where I don't know about hot potato, but something similar, where you're having to grab the object and hold on to it for as long as you can, and you gain points that way.
What about Griffball?
That they didn't have, but there were other modes that were not unlocked because technically this game is still in beta. So the full release, I think, is going to come sometime this month, but it was originally supposed to come out on July 27th. But this game went from like a couple of hundred players consistently to like overnight, like massive amounts of players, to the point where their servers just couldn't handle it. They had to shut it down, and then when they brought it back up, they set up a queue system to where you boot up the game, you have to sit and wait for a while to be able to get into the lobby, and those queues can last anywhere from like 60 to 90 minutes. So yeah.
Whoa. I don't understand how that's going to be sustainable.
Yeah.
Well, obviously they're going to fix that. But it's just going to
it is beta, so yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to take some time because they're a very small studio. So they were not expecting it to blow up the way it did. And I think it was because a lot of streamers started streaming this game, and they saw how fun it was.
Cool.
So yeah, it blew up. Like they've talked about like, oh yeah, you can check our Discord for the latest server queue times. I tried to join that. Their server is maxed out. You can't join it.
Jeez.
And the server max is 52,000. So yeah.
That's unfortunate, but
yeah,
at least it's getting some publicity, and now they can adjust accordingly.
Yeah. So what I
better
did
to do it now than when after it's released.
Right. So what I did was basically I turned on the game at lunchtime today, and by the time I got home to play it, I was in the lobby.
Oh, okay.
So depends on how bad you. I mean, I get it for people that like just want to boot it up and get in. Like that's really frustrating. I totally understand that, and that might turn some people off. But I'm sure they're gonna iron it out.
Yeah,
to where
I'm
it's
sure
not that bad. It's just this is taking them largely by surprise.
Sure.
How quickly this game is blown up. So, but I did have a lot of fun with it. I think it's pretty cool. So, but yeah, that is my week.
Nice.
Ronnie, how was your week, good sir?
It was pretty good. I really didn't do anything out of the ordinary this week. Still playing Rocket League. Kind of like my unofficial, I guess, goal for Rocket League myself is to make it into Diamond rank in doubles.
Very good.
I think the highest I've gotten is somewhere around like Platinum 3 or Platinum 3, like in the middle Division 2 maybe, or something like that. It's the first time like we've been playing doubles in Rocket League, and I like when I go from Platinum 2 to 3, it's like, whoa, man, this is a pretty big difference. And I realize that that's where all the players are that are just kind of floundering on the Platinum Diamond like ranking. So we'll beat a team pretty bad, and then this other team just like works us over. And it's like, man, like those guys were good, like straight up. So I'm kind of trying to do that. It's pretty loose goal. I mean, if I don't attain it, like that's okay. I think the season for Rocket League, I think there's only like 10 or less days, I think, left in the season.
Oh, really?
Technically. I know it's like kind of winding down here. So I don't think I'll make it before that unless we go on just a miracle run, which is possible because that's what Joey Votto did at 37 years old.
Yeah, he did.
You never know.
Today, Joey Votto got ranked or got the National League Player of the Month award, which is pretty cool. At 37 years old, that's pretty. I mean, I think the only other players probably getting it at that age was probably like a Barry Bonds type player. Back when he was, because I think I think he only got better as he approached 40 years old. But we all have our opinions about that.
I mean, it's really cool to see Joey Votto get the Player of the Month, and then Jonathan India, also with the Reds, got Rookie of the Month.
Yeah, that was really cool too.
The Reds were just really good in July.
Yeah, they've been. You know what? It's I. There's always a point in the year I feel like I say this when it's like when watching the Reds or paying attention to them. Like, I always think to myself, man, this team is really fun. And there's always a point where I stop saying that, and usually it's before the All-Star break, which we're past now.
Yeah.
That normally when they start to fall off at the trade deadline, they didn't trade away anybody. They picked up like a couple of players that I think are probably going to help.
Mm-hmm.
So it was exciting to see them commit to trying to win right now. Like that's a good thing if you're a Reds fan.
Because that's not normal.
Especially if you see what the Cubs did, which was absolutely have a fire sale.
Yeah.
Like the Cubs traded away pretty much every big name that they had. Like it was ridiculous how those players just went off the board. But that's pretty much all I've been doing. I've been I don't think I actually mentioned it after the spoiler cast, but I did finish Loki.
Nice.
Finally.
Oh, nice.
I know I haven't like talked about it with you guys. It was I didn't love it actually. I don't know if like I feel like everybody else really liked it, and I thought it was good. Like, you know, I'm glad I watched it still, but it's not something I would like want to go back and watch. There was a lot of really cool parts they did, a lot of really cool things they did, but the whole time thing was just, it was crazy. You know, like it was like the whole storyline and following the actual like logic behind it. Like it was kind of a crazy whole thing. And it just had it had a bizarre feeling about it. I feel like the whole time.
Yeah. And
so
I feel like it was supposed to.
Yeah, I agree. The part that I liked the most, and this really isn't a spoiler for anybody who hasn't watched it, but what was it? Was it the TVA?
Yep.
Is that right?
TVA.
The TVA. So I love how all the TVA facilities are like straight out of the late 80s, like early 90s office building. Like that was the funniest thing. I think they did a really good job with that. It made it really, it's a whole different cool feeling, and bringing like Owen Wilson into that. Like he has like a whole different brand of comedy that like other people don't have.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like calm, relaxed, like makes hilarious little jokes and stuff. Yeah.
Wow though.
So it was good. Like I'm glad. I think they're by the end of this, they're probably going to have drawn every actor that has a name for themselves into the Marvel universe at some point.
Pretty sure you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, because they are just still waiting on the Rock though. Still waiting on the Rock.
Yeah, he's with DC at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be hard
talent.
to sneak a guy like the Rock in.
No,
like
sir.
he's massive.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yes, sir.
He's going to be an awesome Black Adam.
I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
I said it's a waste of good talent.
Yeah,
in DC.
He's in DC.
Get him to Marvel. Come on. He can do his Black Adam and then kill him off in one movie.
I grew up as a Batman fan, but I just have there is no comparison anymore between the two.
Yeah.
Is the best way I can describe it. And I just,
MCU
it doesn't take away all the nostalgia from when I was a little kid. Just, man, those movies, like that whole Marvel setup, just the whole 23, 24 movies, whatever it was, like, boy, I'd like to see somebody do that again. Like that's an unreal.
And they're not done.
Accomplishment. Yeah.
And it's good that you watched Loki, because it basically informs, I don't know if it's going to inform like the entire next like saga, but at least the next phase of movies.
Yeah.
So it's good that you watched it.
Yeah, it was cool. I did like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like I thought that was pretty good. I like that because it was just pretty much like straight old school action fighting. Like it immediately.
Was. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But I've been watching that, I watched that, and I've been oddly enough, I've actually been watching back through the show The Blacklist, just as kind of like a down show as I'm like doing stuff.
Nice.
I always really like that. I think James Spader, like in that TV show, is like one of the best things that I've ever seen ever.
Yes,
like his character in that show is so cool. And he makes the whole show like just good. Like it's good because of him. But that's just kind of my down. Like I don't know if I'll make it like all the way back through. I think there's like 8 seasons of that. Like I'm somewhere in season 2. I'm sure I'll fall off before then.
Yeah.
But yeah. honestly, that's it for me. I really didn't do anything outside of the ordinary. Patrick, what have you got for us? Flying around or something?
Yes, I have been flying around. So one of the games I played this past week was Microsoft Flight Simulator. You know, that great name, just matter of fact.
Such a piece of crap, though. It just sounds like such a piece of garbage.
It sounds like it, but like that name is iconic now. Like,
I know, but it's just like, you want to play the Nintendo car simulator? How about the Nintendo bike simulator? It's just like it's a weird name.
You're right.
But yeah, I booted it up. I played maybe for about an hour. I flew over Cincinnati, just flew past my work building, flew over the Red Stadium and the Bengal Stadium, so that was pretty cool. I flew over my house. Which was it's just really neat to see it from that point of view.
Yeah. Were you able to get like low enough to where you could see like detail?
Yeah. So when you're up in the sky, it's like a satellite view, so everything just looks so real when you're up that high.
Wow.
The lower you get, the less detail you see. So I took a very small plane that would go pretty slow. I think it's maybe like 90 miles an hour. That's as fast as it goes.
Like that little yellow one in your picture?
What? Yeah, exactly. So I fly towards my house, and I make it so I can fly down my street and onto the road. So I get down to the road, and I get next to my house. I pause it, and when you pause it, you can actually just use the camera to move around and look around. So it's pretty cool, especially when you're like pretty nice places. Like if you go to like Rio and you see the Christ the Redeemer, or if you go to Paris, you can see the Eiffel Tower, and it's just very beautiful. But you get down real low and the detail is just awful. So my house is like Tomb Raider blocks.
Oh my gosh.
It's so bad.
It's like Spider-Man boat people. Bad.
Yeah, worse. You can't even tell it's my house anymore. It's really bad. So it's a better game the when you're flying like above things. Like if you're up like maybe I think it's 1,000 feet, it's pretty nice. I mean, you can see you fly past a Walmart's name is on the building. You fly past a Kroger or a Sam's Club or a Target, their names are on the building, so you actually see it. But the closer you get, the blockier it is. So, but
you get close to a Walmart and it turns into an Aldi's. Is that what you're saying?
So, one of my goals was to fly into my previous employer's building
and destroy it. Can you destroy stuff?
Yes. Bitterness was in full force yesterday afternoon.
At least I'm working from home, I guess.
Oh my gosh, they killed Ronnie.
So I got like a faster plane. I got something that's like kind of like a jet. And so
with rockets on the side.
Oh yeah, with bombs and everything. Yeah, sure. So I make my way up the interstate, and I finally see it. So I kind of make a left turn, and then I make a 180. So I'm facing the center, the front, curb side of this building, and and my son's in the room with me. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm gonna fly the plane right into this building." He's like, "That's where you used to work." So, and he's like egging me on, like, "Yeah, go ahead and do this."
Are you sure?
So I'm just like straight on. I'm gonna hit this, and I fly straight into the building and fly straight through it.
Oh,
it was like
faked out mirage.
So anticlimactic. It just flew straight through it like it was like a invisible cardboard or whatever. So
mirage.
Microsoft's like, no, we're not going to let you do that.
When I started, there was like an easy setting, and which is like the damage on your plane is non-existent. So you can so the next time I'm going to do it, I'm going to turn the plane's damage all the way up. I wonder if they blow up. I'm not sure what that's going to look like, if a wing's going to fly off or whatever. So I'm going to turn that up and try it again. So
when you're going to stream this, I want to watch and give you addresses for us to see.
Yeah. It's really it uses Bing Maps.
Ooh.
Whoever uses Bing Maps,
no wonder it looks so awful when you get so close.
I was thinking when you said that, it would be awesome if they could do like the Google Street View.
Oh man, the Google Maps would have been awesome.
Ridiculous, man.
Right? Yeah. So I found out they use Bing Maps, which is Microsoft, and so I'm flying over very like popular areas within Cincinnati in my community, and there is a Chick-fil-A that was built like 10 years ago, not even in this game.
Ooh.
So this is updated, and my house used to be green, and now we resided it. It's like gray and white. It's pretty nice. And in the game, if you're high up, not in the block, low view, you can tell it's still green. So the maps, I don't know how old they are, but they're old enough to where some of it's not really up to date.
Oops.
So the most important question of all is, outside of flying around and looking at things that are there, how's the game? Is it boring?
Boring, yes, 100% boring. So there's a couple modes in here. There's like the free fly, which is you can use any plane that's available, and you can go to any airport in the world, and you can just fly around. I mean, it's really neat.
Airport. That sounds so riveting.
It's really neat.
Can't wait
especially
to go to any airport.
If you want to see stuff, like it's just a cool thing. It's a chill, listen to a podcast, watch a TV show, whatever, while you're doing this. It's pretty cool. The other mode is it's like a discovery mode where they plop you into various cities, pyramids, Eiffel Tower, Mount Everest, things like that, where you can actually see. But beyond that, there's really nothing. Like I was hoping there was going to be like a career mode or a story mode of some sort.
Yeah.
So
But there's no challenges or anything?
They've never been about that.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, as a console gamer, that's what we want, as the
It's
PC.
literally just a flight simulator.
Yeah, it's like, why don't
that's
give
literally
in the
all
name.
it is.
Yeah.
give me like, I want to be my first year flying planes, and then I move up to from a biplane to.
You got to get MLB the Show out of your
start
head.
as like
You
a
played
crop
way
duster.
too much. You played way too much of
this
that.
has
There's
never-
no career of
This has
flying.
never
There's
been that,
no...
nor will it ever be that.
The
probably.
helicopter corporation just drafted me, and I'm going to fly helicopters around for the rest of my life. Can't wait.
Just got my wings, everybody.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not a game that I'm like, I need to get home and play this.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a game where I'm like, I need to listen. I'm behind on my podcast. I need to listen to podcasts.
Here's
and play
another
a game.
Here's another question. Can you fly? There's two-part question. Can you fly a dirigible?
What is that?
I don't know. I just wanted to say that name because it's really funny, but it's some kind of old flying thing, I think.
Can you fly
I
to
don't
an airport and steal
it up.
another plane?
That's
This
GTA
isn't
Online.
Grand Theft
Just
Auto
play-
Simulator.
Play.
I mean,
The second question.
I mean, a man can hope, though.
Can you
Yeah.
fly the Goodyear blimp?
As far as I know, you cannot.
By the way, a
Um,
blimp is a
I know
dirigible.
there's like
There you
can-
go. See, my question was the same question.
You can download planes and things like that, but I haven't gotten that far yet because I don't know how much I'm really gonna play this game.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it was a nice chill.
Cool.
The other game that I played this past weekend was Vader Immortal.
Yeah.
I haven't
There we
busted
go.
out my PlayStation VR hat in quite some time. Like it's actually sitting on like a plastic stand, and when I pulled it off, it like ripped off some of the like stuff on the forehead
It was
of
like
the hat. Yeah,
Velcro sound.
yeah, it was bad, and some of it came off. I'm like, it's probably been months since I pulled this off. And so this Vader Immortal, it's a PSVR game. You are just a random Padawan underneath Vader, the story is he is trying to find a power on a planet to bring things back to life, and he wants to bring Padme back to life, and that story is awesome. Like it's really it's like in the first episode, one of the first scenes, and that's pretty evident throughout the rest of the episodes. And there's only 3 episodes, each of them like 45 minutes to an hour long. But it was really cool to wield a lightsaber, shoot a blaster in 3D or VR. The first time Vader walks up to you, I mean, he's like looks like he's 7 feet tall, and he's menacing. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I streamed that for when I started VR month. Unfortunately, I didn't get to finish it.
Oh, it was VR 3 days.
Yeah, yeah. I streamed the first episode. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was really neat. The first episode was like 45 minutes. The second episode was 30 minutes, and then the third episode was like 50 minutes, and it culminated pretty nicely. Really cool, concise story. Like every Star Wars movie, every Star Wars game, there's got to be a droid. And the droid in this game was voiced by Maya Rudolph, like the Saturday Night Live Good Place, Maya Rudolph. And she was phenomenal. Like, and she's almost in every scene or a majority of the game, and makes the game so good, really good. Just like any other droid in Star Wars, like they kind of steal the scenes. And so this is the same with this one. So it was really nice. I would give that game like a 6.5 out of 10. It was short, but it was fun.
Cool.
On the movie front, so Claire and I are continuing our MCU rewatch. Oh well,
every
for me,
45 minutes.
We finished Iron Man 2.
That's good.
How many sittings did it take?
Took 2 sittings for Iron Man 2.
Okay.
We finished that. Then we moved on to Thor. Watched that all the way through.
Good job, Claire.
And then we watched
is Thor Dark World is the one you watched?
No, the first Thor.
Oh, okay.
Dark World's the second one, so we haven't gotten there yet. So that's not until the phase 2. So right now we're on phase 1, and we finished Captain America, the first one. And so that's 5 movies so far, and we have ranked them so far. So we're ranking them as we go. And Captain America is her favorite of the entire series so far,
Nice.
of the 5 movies. Number 2 is Incredible Hulk, beating out Iron Man and Thor.
That had to hurt you a little bit.
I don't understand that, but
Does that hurt you as a father?
She did put Thor ahead of Iron Man 2, which was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
But she didn't like the villain of Iron Man 2, and like, who does? So
the bird. I need my bird.
My board.
Yeah.
I need my bird.
You can make God bleed.
Yeah, and I had to kind of like translate for her because she hasn't heard that accent very often, so she couldn't really understand what he was saying. So I had to pause it a few times. But yeah, so we're moving on. Avengers is next, which is kind of like the first few movies in phase 1. I mean, they're good, but it really just like starts to take off after when Avengers starts, and all the rest of the movies kind of dovetail and build off of Avengers, which is really awesome. So I can't wait to watch Avengers with her for the first time. And I feel like I'm not really talking about Clark, but he had his birthday this past weekend, birthday party.
Woo!
I mean, 7-year-old birthday party. We had a family over. It was good. But back to Claire. So Claire and I are not picky eaters. We'll pretty much eat anything. So every so often, Claire and we go to this place called Jungle Gyms. It's an international food market, and you can pretty much get anything. There's so many types of food from all over the world there. And we usually go there and we just try different things. And we try not to get the same thing every time. We try to go to the different, like, China, Japan, Korea, Scandinavia, all those places. And so this time we got a few weird things. We got squid in its own ink. Have you guys ever had squid before?
Nope.
Yes. Not in its own ink, though.
In its own ink.
Like,
it was delicious.
Ooh,
absolutely
okay.
delicious.
All right.
And so she loved it, and I loved it. And
Did you have like ink all over your face?
It was.
Like
It was.
after you ate it?
We had to be careful because I felt like that was gonna stain if it got anywhere.
Yeah.
So we
don't
kind
wear
of
a white
like
T-shirt that day.
eat it right
How
over
did you
the
cook
plate.
it?
No, we didn't
just
cook
eat
it
it
at
right
all.
out of
Just
there?
eat it raw. Yep. We didn't cook it at all. We had
That's weird,
escargot.
though.
Well, the one thing we did cook was for 10 minutes, put in the oven was escargot, which is snails.
Old snails.
And
Slippery little suckers.
yeah. So yeah. They're in their shells, and you have to take a toothpick to get out the guts from it.
To get out the actual snail.
Yeah. So we had that. That
The
was
snot.
it tasted like, because there was butter and garlic sauce on it and things like that to make it.
Dump that on it.
Yeah, it was dumped on. And so we had that, and that tasted more like mushrooms. Really, it didn't really taste like a snail would. I guess what I would imagine a snail would taste like.
What did you
gross.
imagine it would taste like?
I don't know. Like I would thought like oysters or clams or mussels and things like that, kind of slimy, but it wasn't. So that we had that. We also had octopus. Octopus is, I mean, it's just I felt like it was naked chicken tenders, really. I mean, there was nothing special about that one. And then we also had chips that were made out of crickets, like potato chips out of crickets. And that was like sriracha flavored, and that was good. Those were really good. That sriracha flavor.
More adventurous than me.
No, so we were walking down one of the aisles where they have like ants and mealworms and things like that, and there was a tarantula, and these tarantulas are like $14 just for one tarantula. And I picked it up and I was like, hey, let's eat this. And she's like, nope. So I think I found my challenge. My goal is to eat a tarantula next time we go, because we get different stuff every time. And tarantulas, like, this is getting to like the fear factor kind of grossness.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I will report back probably within the next few months when we go again. I'm hoping to get a tarantula.
I think you need to stream this. Have your daughter.
Who's gonna watch me eat a tarantula?
IRL, you'd be surprised.
I guess you're right.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't hold out on us.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a really nice week. Nothing, crazy. Just pretty fun week.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, Lucas.
Hi.
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good because my family and I survived the cold snap of 2021 in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
How cold was it?
I got down to like 68 degrees.
You're funny. 68 degrees. That's a good one.
I mean, you're wearing a hoodie right now. How hot is it out there?
Hey, I'm not wearing a hoodie. I'm wearing a zip-up hoodie.
There's a difference.
Dang it! I thought I was wearing a fleece. I forgot what I was wearing. That's how I roll, though. I mean, when you work from home, I have like 3 outfits I circulate through in a month. So
hey, just get a good old pair of sweatpants. You're good for the whole week.
You know it. I started wearing. I'm pretty sure there was a long run where I was wearing just my Yoda or my baby Yoda sweatpants, going between those and my West Virginia Mountaineer sweatpants, and then whatever t-shirts and random shirts I get. And eventually, Mindy's like, "So are you gonna wear adult clothes anytime in the near future, or is this pretty much it?" And I'm like, "I don't know. We'll see." So, but when Mindy's parents came to visit, I felt inspired to wear a big boy clothes, so I did that for a while. I'm starting to, now that the cold snap has passed, I think I'm ready to get back into the sweatpants, the shorts, and yeah, just
when you say
easy.
cold snap, do you mean like cold front or something like that? Is that what they call it?
They called it a cold snap because within 24 hours the temperature dropped almost 40 degrees, which is pretty ridiculous for Brazil. It's not very common.
Pretty ridiculous anyway, really. I mean, that's a big drop.
Yeah, it went from 85 or 84 to 44, something like that. And it bottomed out around 38 in our neck of the woods. It got around 38, 39. It was pretty cold. Thankfully, we all have space heaters, and we even have a fireplace that I burned some ethanol, as weird as that sounds.
Yeah.
Dumped it in a canister made for burning fuel, and it burns really nicely, and it creates a little warmth. Doesn't smell, doesn't create any smoke. It just burns a fire for 3-4 hours. Did it at night before we went to bed. But yeah, so we survived that. Definitely some further southern areas of Brazil got snow.
Nice.
For some people, it was their first time seeing snow. In some areas, it was the coldest it's been in 25 years. In other areas, it was the coldest it had been in 100 years.
Whoa.
So this was like a pretty big deal in
You're
Brazil.
not kidding.
So,
Apocalyptic times.
it was, yeah.
Man, I'd
Well,
take that. I want that.
Yeah.
I'm ready
I
for the
know,
44 right now.
Yeah. When your house gets below in the 50s, it is not fun when there's no escape from it.
That is true.
You get heaters and stuff. It's you can.
So does
stand
it?
But
I mean, what does it normally like get down to? Like what's the lowest temperature like per year, like in the ballpark?
during the year, I would say majority of the year, the temperature really is between mid 80s to low 60s, mid 50s, like most of the time throughout the year.
Gotcha.
So going down into the low 40s.
Do all the houses even have heat
30s.
then?
No.
Just AC.
You just have you don't even have AC. You have windows that you open and close. You have fans that you spin.
I'd never survive.
And
Wow.
You have I mean, but all houses are made of concrete, so they do run a little cooler, depending on how well you've positioned your house. Like our house is positioned in a way where the sun doesn't directly hit the inside of the house very much, so it airs on the cool side. We've been in other houses where the sun is like blazing into the house all day long, and you are usually like 10 degrees above the temperature outside.
Die in those houses.
Yeah, it's been rough in some of those houses where the sun is just blazing. But our house where we live now stays pretty constant, and we've got accustomed to it. We're near a lake, a reservoir, as it were, that man-made lake that keeps it pretty cool. But like I said, we got space heaters and fireplace, so it keeps us warm. Other than that, in the life front, I did get vaccinated a couple weeks ago. Forgot to share that. Got my first dose.
Nice.
And I found out after the fact. Mindy got, and I can't ever remember, AstraZeneca. I don't know why I say AstraZeneca, which is a supposedly, like, I looked up like the top 10 vaccines, or I looked up the list, and it's a pretty decent one. And then I got mine, and Mindy's like, "Which one did you get?" And I'm like, "The CoronaVac." She's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "What is it, like the RC Cola of vaccines?" She's like, "Yeah, pretty much." I'm
I didn't
like,
know there
"All right."
was that many.
There are.
I thought there were like
quite
2 or 3, like straight
few.
up.
I don't know. I feel like that's like the top. It should be the top of the list. Like, hey, what vaccines did you get? I got the Corona vaccine.
Yeah, it's named
It's like,
after the virus.
I mean,
This
it's
one
gotta
must be really good.
Yeah, right.
They really, what they did, they just took some of the blood of someone who has coronavirus, and then they just put it in me. And
That doesn't sound safe at all.
good to go. No, I'm just kidding. It was clear. So it was not straight from another person. But I have my second dose here later this month. Everybody always says the second dose is worse. The first dose did nothing to me. I got a little sting in my arm from obviously the needle, but nothing else happened. But we'll see in the second dose, see what it does. And then on the puppy front, puppy update, Rayla is alive and well.
This is good.
Rayla.
Yep. Rayla. Rayla. You got me on my knees, Rayla. She's 3.5 months old now. She's over 30 pounds. She can walk up the steps, our spiral steps. She cannot walk down them. And
Wait, hold on a second. Let's go back. You have spiral steps?
Yeah, we actually have 2
man, that's
spiral
So there was
steps.
like a castle.
Yeah. It
What?
pretty much is like a castle. We only have 2. We have 2 spiral staircases.
I would have bought that house just for that.
Yes, the spiral staircase is made of gold.
So far, what I know
right.
about your house is it's made out of concrete and there are spiral staircases. Like, that is a castle if I've ever heard of.
I mean, I try not to brag. It's a castle with
You
grass.
tried to
so-
slip that out under the radar. I got it. I caught you.
We
Gotta
also
lower the
have
drawbridge. We gotta let the
We have a
dog out.
moat. Yeah, I was just gonna say we have a
Drawbridge.
moat. We have to lower the drawbridge to for my family to go to school.
There are archers who remain on the roof.
That is correct. That's correct. But yeah, she got to try some new foods this past week. we thought, you know what, we're going to even give you some people food, see what happens. We did not go crazy with this. It wasn't like, cake or I don't know.
Here's a whole pizza.
Spare ribs with our pizza. She definitely has established that the dinner table is the best place to scavenge before and after a meal.
Good.
So she does do that. So who knows what she gets then? But we gave her 3 different foods. We gave her apples, carrots, and strawberries. Can you guys guess what the least favorite of the 3
Probably
was
carrots.
for her? You are correct. She picked it up. She spit it out. We put it in her bowl with her food. She picked it up and she spit it out again. They get this crap out of my food.
I do the same thing with carrots.
Do you? Oh, come on, man. I love carrots.
Nah, man.
Actually, I
It has
say
to be
that,
like
but
steamed with a ton of butter. That's the only way I'm eating them.
that's what I was going to say. We put butter and brown sugar on our carrots. and they're
Caramelized with brown
marvelous.
sugar.
Yeah. It's like, I love carrots.
Then
with
you're just
brown sugar and
masking the
butter.
entire flavor of the carrot, though. That's
No,
the thing.
Let's
Carrots
make
really
the
aren't bad.
carrot, which is healthy, unhealthy.
Hey,
That's like, I love water chestnuts wrapped in bacon.
Yeah,
That's
deep fried.
You don't actually like them. You just like the bacon that's wrapped
That's
around.
like me and coffee. I'm like, I love coffee with 3 tablespoons of sugar,
With all the
half
sugar
a
in our
gallon
house.
of milk, and then a little drop of coffee. But yeah, she did not like the carrots. On the other hand, the apples and strawberries were pretty well received. The strawberries, she didn't like the texture. We gave it to her whole, and she just kind of she bit down on it, and she's like, "Whoa, this is way too squishy."
Yeah.
And she was it took her a while to get through and eat it all. But the apples, she liked that crunch, and she wanted more. So
Nice.
the apples were the big winner.
Teeth cleaner.
Yep, that's right. Clean them teeth, freshens that skunky puppy breath. That's for sure. Beyond that, in the realm of gaming, still playing Dead Cells, of course, 5BC every day, doing at least one run through and failing miserably. But here in 2 weeks, whether I have success or not, that Hades headed my way. I'm excited. I just pre-ordered it today, so it's gonna be preloaded if that's a thing. And at midnight or the next morning or whatever, I'm gonna jump into Hades. Patrick and I are gonna be playing at the same time. First player, first player, single player game.
Yes.
Together. It's gonna be fun.
Solo player game.
Yep, solo player to game together. Didn't get any new platinums this week, but I have some gems waiting in the wing that I will definitely be sharing, and excited to see what Ronnie thinks next week. So hold on and be ready, because they're gonna be weird.
I can't wait to hear
stuff.
about them.
Yeah. And then beat 2 games this week. With my kids, we finished Knack. Overall, it was a pretty fun game. It was very much a Saturday morning-esque cartoon type of adventure, very early 2000s animation. And really the 2-player aspect of it was really what won the day, because you had your Knack character that you played of the first player that really controlled your success on a level. And then you had the second player, which was like a droid version of Knack that could die and come back and die and come back, and really was indestructible. So that was great for my kids to have, one of the kids to handle the little android while I handled Knack most of the time. It was pretty fun. The best part of it was even afterwards, after we beat it and finished the story, my kids were immediately like, "Oh, can we play Knack 2?" And supposedly Knack 2 is better than the original. So I'm looking forward to trying that out in the future. I will say that Knack's animation was a little awkward at times. The people in it looked kind of like animated Muppets, but people in bodysuits. I don't know how else to explain it.
Like Teletubbies?
It is a weird animation.
It's a weird, maybe like Teletubbies. I don't know if you guys ever watched Sid the Science Kid, kind of like that old animation where
Sid the Science Kid.
It's an old PBS show where it's clear they grabbed animation from a real human running around, but then they overlaid it with like a Muppet. This child in a bodysuit.
It's like Superman then?
It's unsettling. Yeah, sure. Maybe like Superman. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but it's if you've seen it, you know how awkward and weird it is. And it was very strange at times. They had oversized hands and oversized feet. And it was I guess a little like Kingdom Hearts too. Just why do they have to have such big feet and hands and it was weird. And then the ugliest part of it for me was actually going back to that little android Knack. Not only was he indestructible with his lives, he could hit like nobody's business. So you would be fighting at the same time, and the little android Knack can interrupt the main Knack's fighting, and he could just lay you out, like hit you. And like my kids constantly were knocking me down while we were fighting the enemy. And so I would be going to do the killing blow, and then one of my kids would hit me, or I would be jumping over a spot, and my kids would get right in front of me, and we would die and have to start over the area. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Just let me go first, okay? Just let Dad take care of this right now. We ain't got time for this." But that was the only part that really sometimes was irritating, but it still was pretty fun. I would give it probably with the kids making the experience more than it would have been with me by myself. Probably by myself, I'd probably give it a 6 at the best, probably 6, 5.5. But with the kids, I would say it was a 7, solid 7, 7.5.
7.5 is like a 0 for Lucas.
It is not. 0. 5 is 4 or 5. 3. I've given the 3 out of 10 once. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That is
Knack
true.
1, I agree 100% with your rating. Knack 2 is so much better.
I can't wait. I saw on Metacritic that it's way better, and I'm like, all right, kids, we'll get into this.
Actual 2-player as well.
Nice.
You can do tag team actions and fight. And it's
remember
so much better,
you remember in Double Dragon or some of the other old school brawlers where you could choose whether you could hit each other or your hitting would like you couldn't like friendly fire or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really wanted that setting in Knack.
Yeah, there's not that in Knack 2 because you do it's like tag team moves. Like you do a move while they're doing a move or they whatever.
I like that.
You turn into some tornado or whatever.
Yeah, so almost like Marvel Ultimate Alliance where you could combine your
exactly.
Oh, I like that. That's making me more excited. I'll have to download that.
And if one person, whether you are the first Knack or the second Knack, if you die, you have like a respawn of like 3 seconds before you get back into the game. So as long as you don't, as the second Knack doesn't die within those 3 seconds, you continue the level.
I like that. All right. Very nice. Very nice. The second game I played and beat today was Bioshock, and you'll have to stay tuned for our GMG VGBC spoiler cast later this month with me, Pat, maybe Marc, and a special guest or two.
Ooh, man, I need to get on that then.
You better. I've beaten it.
Give me an 8-hour head start, and I'll get it.
Plenty of time.
Yep.
You'll beat it by tomorrow if it said go. The very lightly to touch on it. It was creepy, fun, and a very crazy story. Lots of memorable characters, moments, enemies. One of which being the Big Daddy. Which for someone like Ronnie, who's like Big Daddy, that sounds like I don't
Adam
know
Sandler.
What that? Yeah, Adam Sandler. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Like an Adam Sandler movie. The Big Daddies, Ronnie, are kind of like Terminator-esque characters, like where they're just pretty much like you do not want to fight them, you want to avoid them at all costs. And that, speaking of the Terminator, he says one of my favorite lines. You know what that line is, Ronnie?
No, I have no idea.
Great. It's a really famous one. It's 4 words in 3 words. I'll be back.
It's 4 words in 3 words.
What it is? He doesn't say
honestly,
I will be
as
back.
Far as
I'll be back.
I just want to go ahead and explain this from the opposite end. The position, can you guess what my favorite phrase is? It's 4 words in
from
3
the Terminator.
Words. You get absolutely no clues. I don't know.
It's from the Terminator.
I probably would have guessed I love Jesus.
Oh yeah,
that's if I had to guess,
I love Jesus. Let's go.
Well, when he said one of my favorite quotes, it's like, okay. I mean, I was never huge on the Terminator movies though either. So
okay,
fair enough.
And they're okay.
All right. Well, you know what else will be back? Our GMG MAFT 100. It's back for part 2. So let's jump right into it, shall we?
Nice.
Woo! That's right, folks. We're back with the second half of the GMG MAFT 100.
That was the whole transition. I just
That was the whole transition. That's right. Where's my list? I lost my list. Somebody.
Brought to you by Lucas's Transitions.
Yeah, brought to you by.
by I Love Jesus.
Yeah, the second best line from Terminator.
You nailed it.
I love Jesus. That is not my favorite line from any movie, just so you know.
If I had to guess, I feel
I
like
love Jesus. Hey, you guys, I love Jesus. Speaking of that, number 50 on our GMG MAFT 100, Goonies.
Oh,
There it is.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good movie. I picked it, but you guys also voted for it and made it number 50.
so much nostalgia with that
So
movie,
thank you.
though.
That's where
Yeah.
Thanos got his acting gig. Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
My bike, my bike, my bike. That's when he
Yes.
first started breaking the law, breaking the rules, stealing kids' bikes.
Breaking the law.
This is my wish.
This is our time, our time. Yeah, that movie, my uncles used to like to hear me say
Yeah.
some of the lines because
Just a
they,
couple pop.
they say some choice words sometimes. Those kids,
Oh yeah.
they say a lot of choice words. And my
I didn't
uncles
remember that
loved
either.
to ask me
No.
to say some of the phrases that they use in the movie.
Like one of the first few lines of the movie, they say 2 cuss words, and I'm like, what? I don't remember any of this.
They don't fool
Those
around.
darn kids.
No. Yeah.
Those
PG
darn
back in the
kids
day
indeed.
was
They don't
way
make them like
different.
that anymore.
Goonies never
Nope.
say die, but I tell you what they will say.
Do the truffle shuffle.
Yes.
That's what they'll tell
That's
you.
exactly what they'll say.
Yep. All right. The next one, number 49, is Fight Club. What a twist to a movie. I don't. Is it too late? Like,
That
has it been?
movie
It's
is-
probably.
Are you worried
Over
about
20
spoiling
years
Fight
old.
Club?
Can that be spoiled? Can
I
that-
feel like you can spoil Fight Club. Yeah.
I mean, it
Shame
probably
on you
doesn't-
if you haven't watched it.
It doesn't do it justice to even spoil it now. But man, what a twist! That's got to be top 10 twists.
Such a
of all
cool
time.
movie, man.
Yeah.
I agree.
Agreed.
I concur.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You should agree, Patrick. It was your pick. So good job.
Yeah, I can. It's a very long movie too. It's like 2.5, 3 hours, and
Is it?
it's
I don't
one of.
remember.
I feel like it
It's
is.
such a weird movie, honestly.
Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
The next one up is number 48, Onward.
It's a good one.
What a,
One of the
Ah.
best
What a great
Pixar
flick.
movies of all time.
for sure.
I rated it simply upon the clout from you guys because I still haven't watched it.
Man.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's got video game like D&D,
Yeah.
call outs. It's got
Chris Pratt and Tom Holland.
it's got Spider-Man and Star-Lord in it. It's hilarious. It's so good.
Yeah,
What an adventure.
Speaking of favorite lines, my favorite line in that is when the older brother is saying, "Focus, focus," and my daughter and we still say that because it's just a hilarious scene of getting bigger and smaller based on the
Right.
magic that they have. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's so good. And I did not expect it to make me want to cry. At
Yeah.
the end. I mean, I know it's Pixar and I got a soft spot for Pixar, but man, that ending, so good.
So good. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it maybe 3, 4, 5 times, and each time, I mean, the first time I saw it, it made me well up. The second, third, and the multiple viewings after that made me well up a little less, but it's still just so powerful. That ending.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah.
Speaking of a heartfelt ending, number 47, Furious 7.
Oof, man. Speaking of endings, you're right. That's one of the best endings. There's no twist to the ending. It's just, this is when, in the middle of filming, Paul Walker dies. And they just give him a send off. That is just unbelievable. That song that is played is, I think that is the most played song in YouTube history by like 700 quadrillion views. I don't know how much it is, but it is the most.
Wow.
I don't know. It is the most watched song or video, I believe,
Is it?
on YouTube. It's amazing, and that scene,
Wow.
that scene, it just because of what happened in real life, I feel like it really makes me resonate or emotional about this movie and about.
Oh,
the
for
ending.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's good stuff. All right, number 46, Moneyball.
That's a good one. Yep, I think
That's
that was
Ronnie's
Ronnie.
pick.
That was yours.
That's one of my top 10s right there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
Yeah.
Love that movie.
isn't this the one where the guy's dead and they're trying to build a team? Is this the movie?
No,
Or is
I think that's Major League.
Ah, that's Major League. That's right.
This
What?
guy's dead. We'll cross him off then.
What are you talking about? Somebody
Yeah.
died in this one?
Yeah. They're trying to build a team, and he's like, "This guy's dead." Well, then cross him off then.
That's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, different movie,
Mm.
but Moneyball's good. Another Brad Pitt movie,
It is.
Moneyball's the best like nerd baseball movie that has ever existed.
and it's a very important movie in the baseball world.
Yeah, it
It
is.
changed baseball.
Yep.
For
how
sure.
they bring up stats and all that. Yeah.
Dude, Brad Pitt was really good in this, and Jonah Hill
Hill.
was awesome in this movie. Like he played such a good part.
Yeah.
All right, next up is number 45, Spider-Man Homecoming. The Return. Third time's a charm.
Yep.
Spider-Man. The best
Full
Spider-Man.
introduction into the MCU.
Ryan Straube in your face. I love messing with him. We have fun. And in your face, Isaac Alistic too. I'm just throwing it out there. He loves Spider-Man 3, and I don't understand why.
Spider-Man 3 is not on this list, and it will never be on this list.
Yep.
It won't even get close to this list.
Not even in the ballpark.
But we're not here to hate Spider-Man Homecoming.
We're here to hate a little bit.
Back to Homecoming.
Back to the good stuff. Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming. It's not even because of just Spider-Man. It's the villain and the surprises
Yeah.
that come from it.
Very good.
Batman
Very
joining
good.
the MCU.
I get literally all
Yo.
the Spider-Man like movies. I swear I get all of them mixed up. I don't know who the bad guy is in any one of them.
Well, Homecoming.
This one
is
was Michael
Vulture.
Keaton.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay,
Mm.
he was a great bad guy.
Yeah, it was. Perfect.
Great bad guy.
He's got like such a dark, like he could be like such a dark bad guy. Like he's kind of
can.
terrifying, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He was terrifying. It was just like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, that uncle that's just like, I could kill you if I want to, but
And that whole scene
won't.
where
I
they're
like
in the
you.
car
I like
right
you.
before prom, and like he knows that Vulture knows that he's Spider-Man, and all that, like just that whole scene is like,
tense. Yeah. And I love, and this says a lot about the MCU, but in every one of the MCU movies, once you've watched Infinity War and Endgame and then go back and watch like all of them, you see all the setups. And so Homecoming has the setup for kill mode
yeah,
that I love then in Endgame
Yes.
when
Yeah.
he finally uses kill mode and it pays off. And yeah, just so funny. That whole thing with his learning how to use the Stark suit and breaking it and all that. It's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Number 44, probably to some people's chagrin, Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. I mean,
A polarizing movie, but a fun one
it was fun. Yes.
nonetheless.
I actually, now that I'm looking at the rankings, like I definitely ranked this way too low because I really liked it.
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like this movie wasn't as polarizing as Last Jedi was, but still pretty polarizing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought this was a good time.
Yep.
Yep.
I enjoyed it.
And one of
Great
those
oldies.
movies you just, because it's good and it's fun, that it's one of those movies you can just watch again.
Mhm.
Yep.
Or at least
For
I
sure.
can. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I feel the same way. I can't wait to watch it. We're holding off on watching it. We've watched all the other Star Wars with my kids, but
Yeah.
James cannot handle the creepiness of
Oh, yeah.
movies. And there is some creepiness in
Yeah, there is.
episode 9.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting a little bit longer. I think when he turns, we're shooting for his birthday this year in October. He's already said it like 50 times. He's like, when I have my birthday and turn 9, we're watching Rise of Skywalker. I'm like, all right, man. I hope you don't have nightmares. So yeah, it's but yeah, what a flick. What a fun flick.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I feel like, like you mentioned, Mark, with The Last Jedi, J.J. Abrams did what he could to kind of bring things together between what he set up and then what happened with Jedi, which I appreciated Jedi. I like Jedi as much as any of the others.
I said
but they don't go together.
Yeah. Yeah, I said this with, and I know we're talking about Rise of Skywalker, but like once I got over what I had in my head, what I thought it should be as a movie, then I was fine with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean that's what it comes down to for so many movies. The reason people hate on some movies is because they can't get over themselves, like what they think it deserves or whatever. Like
it's also like one of the most important like series of movies, like for most people.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. Next up is number 43. That old Aladdin. That old classic. Got some of the best music, voice over. I mean,
the best.
Who's going to go head to head to Robin Williams? Who?
Oh, yeah, the best Aladdin, best Disney cartoon out there for me. Like you said, best songs and timeless songs. Yeah,
good stuff for sure. Number 42, Home Alone.
Here we go.
All right,
here's my
42.
pick.
All right,
Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof. Classic.
I watched the documentary that was actually like the director's son or someone's son that dressed up as a girl, something like that.
Yeah,
And
it's the director's son.
Yeah,
yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that's
hilarious. You can still visit that house today. I want to say is it in Ohio? I think it's in Ohio. It's not in Cincinnati, but it's I'm pretty sure it's in Ohio.
Yeah. Okay.
I always wondered, what did that guy do in terms of a job to own that kind of a house? That dude's got to be making bank.
He's doing something.
Why possibly?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next up is number 41, The Santa Claus.
Yeah.
A very fun take
annual
on
staple.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, dude, I love the series.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
They're some of my favorite Christmas movies, like of all time. Like just the series of Santa Clauses.
When they first go to the, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
After you go ahead, I'll go ahead.
Okay, cool. Like the scene when they first land at the North Pole, and the little kid comes out to the North Pole and pushes the button, and it's got this like real somber music to it, like. It always like gives me a lump in my throat. I'm like, man, it's Christmas time.
Nice.
Anytime I hear it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think Tim Allen's take on Santa Claus is one of the best. It's so good, in fact, that did you guys know that in the third Santa Claus movie, he had to play Santa Claus for pretty much the entire filming because a lot of the kid extras that were there thought he was actually Santa Claus.
Oh my gosh.
And the parents said, you've got to act like the director and the higher ups were like, you've got to stay in character or you're going to destroy these children if you don't act like Santa Claus. So like when they would say cut, he would remain in character as Santa Claus.
He was such a good Santa Claus though. Like
he was so good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I never really connected with the Santa Claus that was just like mythical Santa Claus, like the whole idea of like a human eventually taking the mantle and becoming the Santa Claus is like it's such a cool concept. It's really cool. So he made a great one. Next up is number 40, Jumanji with Robin Williams.
Classic.
It is a classic.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
That movie made me want, because they made a the actual physical version of Jumanji. I always wanted to have that.
Are you suicidal? I did not want to touch that game after watching that movie.
That's fair. Oh. Love it.
I need to just backtrack real quick. I have to give credit where credit is due. My wife heard me say that little tidbit about Santa Claus. Credit to her. She's the one that told me about that the other day. So
Nice.
shout out to my
nice.
wife, Mindy. Thanks for that. You helped me make a Mindy fact. So, but yeah, back to Jumanji. Yes, a good flick for sure. Next up is number 39, Toy Story 3.
What an ending to a trilogy.
I've not seen Toy Story 4 yet.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like they could have stopped right here.
Sure.
They could have.
They made Toy Story 4 work.
Did they?
Oh, they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
It fits.
Yeah.
Like Toy Story 4 surprised me. Yeah, it was actually good. But yeah, Toy Story 3, what a perfect ending. Like the passing of the mantle and with the toys, like the ending is just like, oh man, it's
It's good.
so good.
I can't believe I sat on that for so long. Like I watched Toy Story 1 and never watched 2 or 3 until, was it this year? Was it earlier this year I watched all 3 of them?
Was it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, beautiful ending.
Yeah, very good. 38, Braveheart.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, but I can't watch it all the time. I have to be in like the mood to watch this one.
Yeah, you got to be invested in this one. I feel like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hard to watch just like in passing.
Yeah, you can't watch it in passing. You have to.
I mean, this one for sure is like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's a
And
long
it's
one.
grueling. Like the ending. I mean, I still can't. I feel like a 6-year-old child watching the ending. I'm just like covering my eyes and just like, oh my gosh, that hurts so badly. Like, nope. Yeah. But what a flick.
Mm-hmm.
Really gets you jazzed up, want to paint yourself blue and storm the keep. Number 37, Up. What a jarring first 15 minutes to any movie in the history of movies.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that I have seen, and like Elizabeth wanted me to watch it, and I remember like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Like,
Why would you make me watch this?
Yeah, like why are we doing this to ourselves? Like, there's a lot of other good movies that are not sad.
Yeah. Wow.
But it is an
Powerful.
incredible movie, honestly.
Powerful beginning.
Yeah.
It's a powerful beginning. They take and like, if you look at it on paper, like a dog, an old man, a house with balloons, a Boy Scout, a bird, ostrich thing.
What was the dog's name? Doug.
Oh, Doug. Yeah.
Doug.
Talking dogs. Like you combine all that stuff, it doesn't make any sense on paper. Like it sounds like a fever dream. And they make it work. Like it's so good. Like you get to the end, like when he opens up the photo album and gets to the end where she wrote him a note, like continue your adventure, and just like, oh, it's just so good.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. So heartfelt. Next one up, number 36, Hook. Rufio,
Bangarang.
Rufio.
This is one of my favorite movies as a kid. Like,
Yeah.
I thought this
For
was
sure.
the coolest thing like ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just to like see the change from Robin Williams as Peter Banning, the workaholic, doesn't have time for his kids, kind of a fatty kind of thing, and all of a sudden, towards the end, boom, he is the Pan.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Robin Williams does such a good job. Justin Hoffman does a fantastic job as Captain Hook. I
don't think I even recognized him the first time I watched that.
Yeah.
I think I got to the end and I was like, wait, who is that again? That's Rain Man? No. Don't you lie. But yeah. I really like, I can't think of any other examples of this, but I really like almost like the after the fact sequel to our fairy tales, like them as adults and then going back, like this whole idea of Santa Claus, of Peter Pan becoming an adult and like living in the business world and then going, like, I just love those kind of, there's another weird one like Return to Oz. That's a really old flick that's super weird, but
that
I
was
always
like in the
enjoys
80s,
watching
right?
it. Yeah, from the 80s where Dorothy goes back to Oz and you see it like as it's aged and not aged well and everything that happens. I just really like that kind of, I don't know, post-apocalyptic fairy tale almost. If that is a genre, probably not.
Should be.
Yeah, it really should be. Speaking of post-apocalyptic, number 35, Tommy Boy.
What?
That's not
Now
a real
that you say
transition.
it, now
I
that
just
you
wanted to
say
it.
Wizard of Oz, Tommy Boy was on my mind. So you
That's
read it.
right. So I might as well
Yeah.
bring it up.
Guy in a little
Coat. I mean, that movie I could quote. I remember watching that movie in high school with my buddy Josh, and we laughed so hard we missed half the jokes and would have to rewind the VCR. That's how old I am.
That's when you know it's good. It's like, you need to rewind this 10
Rewind
seconds.
that. Like that last part where he gets hit in the back of the head with the dinghy. Like, I can't tell you how many times I played that in slow motion, and just to see it slowly whack him in the back of the head and see Chris Farley, his like whatever you call that kind of
Brand.
comedy, yeah, like just his like doing cartwheels and like the crazy stuff he did, grabbing his hair and like making it shoot up. That ambulance scene, like where he's like explaining the brakes to the guy, and he's like, and then here comes the meat wagon, wee-oo. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. Oh my god! All because you wanted to save a few dollars. Get out.
It's just a different brand of comedy. I feel like that comedy is just, it's like in a time capsule now, like
yeah, it really
just
is.
that whole era of comedy, like Chris Farley's brand of comedy, like hasn't really been replicated. Like it was just its own kind of thing.
Yeah.
I actually was, I watched the thing, and it was talking about Chris Farley, like doing his own stunts and stuff. And when he like, for example, at the beginning of Tommy Boy, where he like falls through that table,
Yes.
like they did that like a few times, and like one of them like was like one of the takes was like good, and he's like, nope, I can do it better, and he literally would try to fall through that table like harder, like what I mean, like just to make
I
it
believe
better.
it.
Like he would go all out for that stuff.
Yeah. And I love this movie not just because of the comedy, but because of the dynamic between him and
David Spade.
David Spade. Thank you. I was going to call him. What's the mullet character that he plays as? That's
Joe
what I
Dirt.
Joe Dirt. Yeah.
Dear
Between him and
Tay.
Joe Dirt. Yeah.
Husker D's, Husker Downs.
But they're like their relationship ups and downs, and
Yeah.
singing airs too, and hitting the deer, and just
The bees routine.
Yeah, the
That's
bees
classic.
routine. Oh, it's just so good. I just love it. So yeah, Tommy Boy. Number 34, another classic comedy that surprised me for its heartfeltness. Bruce Almighty. Who wouldn't want to be God for a day?
Solid.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a
I
really
got
good
the
one.
power.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
It's like, I like he's like, how many fingers am I holding up? He's like 7. Nuh-uh. And then he's like, he has 7 fingers.
He has 7 fingers.
My wife and I, Kristen and I, still to this day, whenever like say one of us gets tongue tied or something like that, and you're like, blah, 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 and I automatically go to Evan Baxter.
Pee pee. Yeah,
Oh,
that was a
man.
good one.
Backstabber.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the end where he just says, gotta give it all to you. Like, it's just like, wow. There's a lot of depth. And he gets hit by a truck.
He's like,
afterwards.
smite me,
Oh,
oh mighty smiter.
smiter,
I'm not
yeah.
one for blasphemy, but that one made me laugh.
Yeah. Morgan Freeman as God. Yeah.
Yeah, he did nail that.
He did nail the God part
Yeah.
in a very non-heretical idolatry sort of way. Number 33, Batman, old 89, the OG. Yes. Woo. Good stuff.
Michael Keaton. Can't wait to see him reprise the role.
Oh, yes. That's going to be so cool.
And then Jack Nicholson is the Joker, the OG Joker. Not the real OG, but
Yeah.
the first one that people actually enjoyed to watch.
He's the one that took it up about 10 notches.
Yes.
Yeah,
From
went
that
to
other
crazy.
guy, Adam West is Joker.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah, with the guy that doesn't want to shave off his mustache and paints over it.
Right. Yeah. So nasty. Number 32, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
Nice. They just announced the series.
On Amazon.
Or
Wait,
the
the
date
fellas?
the date for the series.
What is that about? Is that a prequel?
It's about the Second Age from the Silmarillion.
Isn't that like Silmarillion? Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
finally got
nice.
the rights to that.
It's like the Eternals for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Cool.
Showing the forefathers of lots of people. So that'll be fun.
September 2022.
Nice. Just around the corner.
Yeah.
Gotta love those announcements that are
Yeah.
forever away. They're like September 2022.
Just say we're making it. It's gonna come out when it comes out.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Number 31, Elf. My favorite Christmas movie.
Man, what Santa Claus, Home Alone, Elf, and like the past 10 picks.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christmas.
We love them Christmas movies.
Yeah. It's good
Absolutely.
stuff.
I think we have a few more Christmas movies coming up later.
Oh,
Home Alone's not really a Christmas movie though.
Oh, it isn't? Is it not a Christmas movie?
I was just trying to get y'all fired
I
up.
was gonna say.
Don't be talking crazy like that, young man.
it's a horror movie.
Speaking
Suspense
of that
horror.
argument, I was gonna say, how did Die Hard not make it on here, and then I just found it.
Ew,
Yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
jump the gun.
that was the first Christmas movie on the list.
No, that's the number one Christmas movie. All right. Next one is number 30, The Lion King.
This is my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah. Of the, I guess I'd call it classic. I think it's my favorite of the classics.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. But it's not for everyone. It's actually based off of Shakespeare's Hamlet
Yeah.
for you lit nerds out there.
Did you guys see like the remake of The Lion King? They did like
Not a
2 or
fan.
3 years ago.
No, it's not.
Yep.
did not
I
watch it.
saw
The
it.
cartoon is the superior version.
Correct.
Yeah, I saw it. Honestly, like it was really just exactly The Lion King with real animals.
Except
like
they didn't. Yeah.
It wasn't like I thought they were gonna like kind of change it up a little bit. It was pretty much exactly that.
Nope.
And what they did change up was worse. like talk singing. They didn't sing half the time. They just talked the songs. And it was like, what are you doing? Sing the songs, man. Don't try to talk
The-
sing it. It's not
the
a
best- The best addition they added was the Timon and Pumbaa song where they're talking about breaking wind, and they actually go that extra mile. Where in the cartoon they kind of shush it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I remember the
his-
first time as a kid you seen like Timon and Pumbaa, like they were the funniest 2 characters like that ever existed.
Yeah,
Like when you first saw them, like that was the best.
the big
Yeah, for
warthog
sure.
and a
Mr.
Meerkat.
Pig.
That's messed
Are
up.
you aching? Yep. For some bacon. Yep. He's a big pig. Number 29 is Liar Liar, another Jim Carrey comedy, and a hoot because he can't lie, and it's funny.
It is a good one.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, what would happen if you really had to live your life
This
that way?
pen is royal blue.
Write it or I'll break it off.
Next up, number 28 is Avatar, the Fern Gully Dances with Wolves, Pocahontas mashed together movie that I watched in the theater 3 times and was my first HD movie that I purchased and watched on my HD television
Wow,
back in the day. So
big.
it's a big deal for me. I love that movie. It's just a fun
It's a great movie.
fun flick. Another fun flick, number 27, Ace Ventura. Alrighty then.
Yes.
This was just on the other day and I watched it. Like, it's so good. I don't think Elizabeth's ever seen it before. She's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "We need to talk."
We need to talk. She couldn't identify it on site.
I don't think she's ever seen him. I mean,
Oh man, I think this is probably the movie I've seen the most in my entire life.
you know, the
Yeah.
problem is though, showing somebody a movie like this, like later in life, like she's not gonna like it. Like I already
No.
know.
It's
It's
like you talked about with Tommy Boy. It's in a capsule, and you
Yep.
really
yeah,
have to.
it's a different.
You
It's
have
a
to be in
different
a right
brand, yeah.
mindset, or
Yeah.
from that time.
Yep.
Yeah. Number 26, Ghostbusters,
There you go.
80s
Another
classic.
good flick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Looking forward.
I
to
ain't
the
afraid of no
sequel.
ghosts. Have you guys seen the trailer for the sequel
Yep.
Mhm.
or Stranger
It's
Things
Stranger Things Ghostbusters.
with Ghostbusters? It still looks really good though. Like it looks really
Yeah.
fun.
Hey, they're bringing back the
It's-
OG cast. So.
It looks like it's gonna be nostalgic more than anything else. That's,
Yeah,
and
probably.
I'm hoping it's more than that. I really do. Hopefully it's a good story, and I know with like the original cast, rest in peace, Egon, but they didn't want to make another one because of Harold Ramis when he died. They're like, we're done. We're not going to make another one. And now they're making another one, so it must be good. It must be a good script for them to do that.
Mhm.
So I'm holding my my hopes high low for this movie. So hopefully it actually pays off.
Yep.
When's it supposed to come out?
Last year.
All
That is
right.
correct.
I want to say the fall.
Yeah,
You realize now in all of our history, we just have this weird blip that was 2020.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
You know,
yeah.
Yep.
But I
It
know,
was
I
like
think
of the blip.
February 29th in a whole year. It was like a leap year.
it just didn't even happen.
All right. Number 25, National Treasure. That old National Treasure.
It's
Yeah.
an awesome movie, dude.
Nah,
So
it is
so
a fun
good.
movie.
Yeah, it's like National Treasure 1 and National Treasure 2 were like the last time Nicolas Cage was any good in anything.
That is correct.
They need to make a National Treasure 3. I love the treasure hunting kind of like it's like Uncharted, but
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's pretty
That's
cool,
what I was
man.
just going to say. Yeah.
I just
It's
love how they
like-
in these movies they connected everything like historically. Like,
Yeah.
they just did an awesome job at that.
Yeah,
In
and
real
the
life,
music.
it could be pure like crap, but in the movie,
Yeah.
it's really fun when they connect.
It kind of
And
like
then in
makes
the-
sense.
If you look closely at a dollar bill, like does this lead you to
Yeah.
Ben Franklin's watch that
Yeah.
was built in blah blah blah. Like it's just really fun. Yeah.
I got to dig up Ben Franklin.
Yep.
And the music to this is some of the best music in cinema in maybe ever. One of the best soundtracks, especially that intro theme music. So good.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. All right, number 24, Inception.
Love it. Love the
Dream within a dream.
twistiness of this movie and just
Yeah.
how trippy it can be. Love Christopher Nolan's directing.
Yeah.
All the characters all the actors are fantastic. I just love the world that they built with it. So
Mm-hmm.
Yep, for sure. 100% agree. Loved it. All right, number 23, John Wick.
I gotta tell you what, this movie came out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
it like John Wick, like Keanu Reeves, John Wick. Is this just like the Matrix without the Matrix?
I remember hearing about it and I was like, this is gonna be nothing. This is gonna be the same crap.
and 3 movies later, and they're
Yep.
starting to film a
Pretty
4th.
sure when you find out that John Wick's dog dies, like everybody's on board.
Yep.
Like,
Like,
he's-
okay, you should kill 200 people.
yeah, exactly. I'm right behind you on this one.
Yeah.
Go, John.
Give me a gun, I'll be there.
Go, Johnny. Go, go, go.
So
That'd
good,
be
dude. This
good.
is like just peak Keanu Reeves right here in John Wick. Like, those movies are so cool. I like the
thinking I'm back.
Yeah, so like one of the things they do in the John Wick movies is they create like this universe basically. And the universe is that of like assassins, like they have the Continental restaurant or the Continental like hotel that they can go to, and that's like,
Neutral ground.
you know, neutral ground, and like they have this whole system. Like that part was really cool.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the highest movie on the list that I haven't seen, but I really want to. I like the trailer, and
Don't-
I'm pretty
don't
sure I read the Wikipedia story for all 3
Don't
of
watch it
them.
with
but-
your son
Yeah, I was
for
gonna
sure.
say, don't watch it with the
Oh,
kids.
no. My dad already warned me when he went and watched it, was like, that was really violent. Yeah, Dad.
That's
it
about
was,
as violent as you can get. I feel
it was
like.
in the trailer. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
really know what was happening, but they killed a lot of people. I'm like, thanks for that review.
It's a bloodbath.
I give it a 6 out of 10. Next up, one of my favorites that made me bawl like a baby, number 22, The Patriot.
Such a great movie.
Yep.
Aim small, miss small.
And just like Braveheart, I feel like you got to be in the mood to watch this one.
Mhm.
You know what? No matter what you think of Mel Gibson, man, he's an incredible actor. Like
Yeah.
this movie, like he was so good in this movie.
He was
Like
so
just
good
his
in this movie.
emotion, like on his face and stuff. Like he's unbelievable. Like
Yeah. This movie was incredible. It made me. It's the most patriotic, very appropriately, I've ever felt after watching this movie.
yeah.
Good stuff. Number 21. Speaking of a patriotic movie, Iron Man. God Bless America.
Yeah. I mean, it started the MCU off. Let's be honest.
It did.
They
with
picked
the
a
bang.
banger though. I'll tell you what. Like I think they knew this one was going to take off.
I saw somebody posted, I can't remember what news place or magazine it was, that posted an article like, it was like, yeah, Robert Downey Jr. was good as Iron Man, but anyone could fit that role. And I'm like, no.
What?
Could
No.
they?
No.
Really? Come on.
Just like the squinty,
telling me
the squinty
that-
Thor face.
You're telling me that Austin Powers could be Iron Man? You're
Yeah.
telling me that Mike Myers can be Iron Man better than Robert Downey Jr.?
Wayne.
Are you telling me that Garth Algar, that Dana Carvey could be a better? You're telling me that Leslie Nielsen is better than Robert Downey. You're
You're
telling
really-
me
You're picking some
No,
weird
I'm not
actors.
telling. I'm not telling you.
that's what
anything.
that's what
I
they
don't even
said.
know who any of these people are.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Tom Hiddleston, Tom Holland, Tom Green. Anybody can do it. You're right.
Patrick.
He's
no,
just,
I-
he's just
Patrick
naming names now.
Novosel.
I
Yeah, he's
feel
just
I
saying.
feel like that I got triggered on this
Yeah,
one.
I guess so. All right.
yeah, like he is Iron Man. Like
As he says.
he
Yeah.
is Tony Stark. Like that is.
I will see him in that role for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every time I see
Yep.
him, I will
for
think about
sure.
Iron Man.
For sure. Yeah. Mm. What a great character.
I'm all excited now.
Yeah. All right. Number
Riled up.
20. I may not be a smart man, but I know what a good movie is. Number 20, Forrest Gump.
Solid,
Yeah.
What a-
solid movie.
Yep.
What a period
Top 20
piece.
movie of all time. Yep.
Epic
Mm.
period piece. My
Yeah.
wife hates it.
I agree.
But I don't judge her.
That's
It's
sad.
fine. It's not for
Elizabeth
everyone.
also has never seen this one before.
Kristen has never.
Oh.
Actually, no, I take that back. I think she has seen it. I take that
I
back.
feel like she'll probably hate it though too. Like it's one of those things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like pitch it like, oh my gosh, this movie's great. And she'll be like, this sucks.
It's a good
I
story.
don't think Elizabeth talks the way you act like she talks.
He honestly, like out of the two of us,
I
if I
wanna
were to
hear
put
her
anybody
talk.
up front, for politeness and kindness, it would 100% be her for sure.
Yeah.
She's very polite.
That seems right. And then
Yeah.
you would translate it to, you're just saying
I
it
am
sucks,
a
aren't you?
monster compared to her.
Yeah. Yeah, Forrest Gump. What a great movie. I don't know. There's so much that can be said about it, but it's
Solid cast too.
such a solid
Dude, this
cast.
movie goes through everything.
Yeah, it does. It covers
Everything,
so
man.
many decades.
Yeah, it
and
does.
Huge American moments, world moments.
Yeah.
It's good. Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. I think I say that every time.
Magic
I want to offer someone ice cream in my family. Like, it wasn't
Ice cream, Lieutenant Dan. Ice cream.
Oh man. Number 19, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, this
Solid.
This is solid. The beginning of this movie is probably it's one of the best beginnings to any movie. I know we talked
Yeah.
about Up. That was like a sad beginning. This one was the funnest beginning to any movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, this is gonna be great. This rest of this movie.
I love how they interweave music and action in these movies.
Yeah.
Both 1 and 2, but 2 definitely that beginning with Baby Groot turning on the music and
Yep.
fighting that big tentacle monster.
Little Mr.
So
Blue
good.
Sky.
Yep.
My favorite part is literally when she's like, Groot, get out of here. You're gonna get hurt. And he waves and she's like, hi. And he just goes back to fighting again. It's like that's exactly something a little kid does, is just waves hi for no reason.
Yeah. Pretty much. Number 18, The Princess Bride.
As you wish.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a
it's-
classic one that I think younger kids don't get. Like
Yeah.
they watch this
Yeah.
movie and they're like, "What? Who's this?"
This
what's
is
that
a
big
different
guy?"
brand of comedy. I
But-
feel like this is one of
yeah.
those things where
Billy Crystal's in this. It's a very different brand of comedy.
Yep.
Yeah, that is true. My wife just recently got the book. We're going to read through it with our kids and then later on watch the movie. So
Nice. You can do the voices and everything?
that
You
should
have
be,
to do the
well,
voices.
I mean, what are you talking about? Of course I'm going to do the voices.
You can't even wait.
I can't sit there and be like, inconceivable. No, I got to speak with the lift. Like, inconceivable.
There's there at our local movie theater, every month they do like a classic movie, and they call them like Fandom Fathoms or something like that. And like 3 or 4 years ago, they did The Princess Bride, and they do one showing. They bring back to the big screen for one showing, and you have to get tickets right away to be able to see these movies. And Princess Bride was come out to the movie theater, so I snatched up tickets, and the wife and I took a date out, and we saw Princess Bride in the movie theater, which was really cool experience.
That is pretty sweet.
Nice.
Very good. Number 17, Die Hard. Christmas movie numero uno in our list,
good,
I
dude.
think.
Welcome
Let
to
me
the
glance
party,
over.
pal.
Yeah.
There was on Netflix, there's a series called The Movies That Made Us.
Yeah.
You do like an hour, documentary behind the scenes of pretty much everything, how they found Hans Gruber. He was like, they wanted a no-name. They didn't want a big star. So it was his first role. He was in like theater. He did plays.
Yep. He's a theater guy.
Oh, Alan
And
Rickman.
they and like Bruce Willis, like he was on this TV show called Moonlighting, which was like a
Moonlighting,
comedy.
Yep.
My mom watched that back in the day, and I watched it with her.
And then Bruce Willis being cast as this, everyone was up in arms. I mean, they tried to get like the big hitters at the time, like Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I think Clint Eastwood maybe, but nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to be a part of this, and they went to Bruce Willis, and pretty much they wanted someone to say yes. So they threw like $5 million at him for one movie, which at that time made him the highest paid actor of all time in a single movie, for a guy who's done nothing but I think he was a Seagram's wine cooler spokesman, and he was in Moonlighting, and he all of a sudden became the highest paid actor. And man, the rest is history. It's so good.
Classic.
Yeah,
And it
so
had
good.
Carl Winslow in it.
Carl Winslow, which was his role into cinema and TV. He was trying to become an actor, and they gave him this role.
Yep.
So it's just like really cool to see like
Reggie Vell Johnson.
Hans Gruber, or what's his real name?
Alan Rickman.
Gruber's Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, Bruce
Scar.
Willis.
He's
Carl
done so many
Winslow.
villains. He is an epic villain
Yes.
actor.
Yes, he is. Yes.
So good. So good.
Went
Yep.
on to do a whole bunch of good movies.
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
Oh, they all did.
Next up, number 16, Back to the Future. The old classic, the one that started it all,
Yes.
of going back to the future.
This is like the one movie that is synonymous with the 80s and yet is still timeless in a lot of ways. Yeah, there are certain things about it that are dated, of course, but it still holds up. It's still like, now of course I'm the super fan, and I'll watch that any day, every day.
Right there with you.
Yeah. So, but I just think anybody can sit down and watch this and enjoy it and have fun with it, and love the movie.
Yeah.
Good old Calvin Klein.
We
I wonder
almost
how
didn't
many,
have
how many
Michael
more
J. Fox.
underwears got sold because of that. that movie.
Speaking of the movies that made us, there was another one for Back to the Future, and like you said, they almost didn't have Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
They shot like a whole bunch of that movie with an entirely different actor.
It was like 3 months worth.
Yeah, and then they took a real chance trying to basically they canned the old actor, and Michael J. Fox had to basically work like all day and all night because he was on Family Ties at the time. And so like he'd film Family Ties, and then like in the middle of the night, like early in the morning, he'd get like 2 hours of sleep, and then he'd have to go film for Back to the Future. This is insane, but it was worth it.
I bet he's glad he did it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. All right, next up, number 15, The Sandlot. The Sultan of SWAT. The
Colossus
Colossal
of Clout?
Clout. Colossus of Clout. The Great Bambino.
Baby
Oh, I
Ruth.
thought you said the Great Bambi.
Forever. Yeah. Man, what a movie. The Sandlot. So good. You don't even have to like baseball to like this movie.
Right. Yeah.
That's just a great movie.
Anytime I hear this magic moment.
Oh, yeah.
Wendy Peppercorn.
I can't take it anymore.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Such a good movie.
I
Or Tequila.
They had the big chaw.
What an encapsulation of going to the fair back in the day, like riding those nasty rides, doing stupid stuff with your friends from school. Yeah.
You know it's a good movie when you
good.
use quotes in your everyday vocabulary. Like
Yeah.
I will use "You're killing me, Smalls."
Oh,
Yeah.
every single day. My kids are like, "Why are you calling me Smalls?" 'Cause that's who you are right now. You're killing me. Number 14, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
The Pirates.
Of the
Pirates.
Caribbean.
The Black Poe.
The Peril.
Yeah. Speaking of music, the music of this movie.
Oh,
I mean, without it, I don't think this movie would be
It's
as good.
impressive. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And this is the first of their, we're going to make a movie based off the ride. This had like no nothing prior to this. And then they just took a ride, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and made a movie out of it. And they, of course, Johnny Depp. I mean, come on.
Yep.
This is
Captain
just one of
Jack
those things
Sparrow.
where they just made
good.
their own like world. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like for
universe.
this movie, and
Yep.
it's just amazing.
Yep. Speaking of their own worlds, Guardians of the Galaxy number 13. Guardians is back.
Yeah.
OG.
Yep.
Speaking of beginnings for the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, this beginning was he was on that planet and he was just like dancing while listening to his music, like singing into rodents.
It's so awesome, by the way, that they went back to that in Endgame. Like that's so good, dude.
And
He's
made
an
it look
idiot.
stupid. Yeah, because there's no music and they're just watching this guy like, ow! He just moving around, just like awkward and sounds terrible. And he's like off pitch and stuff. Oh, it's so funny. It's so good. Number 12, keeping with the Marvel theme for the next couple, Captain America, The Winter Soldier. Not just a comic book movie, but an epic spy thriller,
Yeah.
to say the least. So good.
I think everybody
So
can
good.
enjoy this. It's not like it's got its superhero elements, but like it's not overly superhero. So I think
Yeah, it's kind of down to earth.
yeah.
Yeah, very much. And it's got such it's down to earth, but it's got such like superhero moments.
Yeah.
Like where I think this is the one where Captain America is holding on to
The helicopter.
the helicopter and the launch pad and just like and you're like, man, I need to work out. I want to do that.
Finish this
That'd be
buttered
so
popcorn
cool.
first.
Yeah, let me just finish this big tub of, buttered the way the Nova cells do it.
Yeah,
Stop my
straight
heart.
down the
Put the
straw in the
straw.
middle.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, put the straw down the middle.
That is a great scene. I think you might be thinking of Civil War though.
It might be Civil War. I don't remember. I'm
No.
mixing them up.
You don't think it's Civil War?
No. I think it's when
Right after what's his name interrogates him, and then they all escape.
Is it?
Oh,
Pretty
no.
sure.
And then he saves his life?
Mark, can you fact check it?
Working on
this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might be misquoting, but still.
That
The
was a good
relationship
scene,
Between
regardless.
Bucky.
It was an awesome scene, man. I think I think the Captain America thing, it's like it's hard not to like, I guess, kind of like get invested or involved in that character, because it's like this guy's like the ultimate good, man.
Yeah.
Just the decisions he makes, like this is like the superhero that everybody's always wanted.
Yeah.
It is Civil War.
Yep.
I didn't want
Good
to come on
call,
too
Ronnie.
strong, but I was pretty sure about it.
It's a good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's Bucky's on the helicopter, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what throws me off. Wow, I always thought that was Winter Soldier. My gosh.
But yeah, he is the ultimate good guy. I mean, Claire and I,
Yeah.
we just watched Captain America, and that doctor is talking to him while they're in the barracks, and he's like, "What the super soldier serum is what it makes good great and bad worse, and
Yeah.
what it did to Red Skull versus what it did to Captain America, you can tell it's just like it made him such a good person,
Yeah, like
It
they
just
chose him because
amplified it.
internally he was just so good.
so good, yeah." And I on my original ranking, like Captain America was in the bottom tier, but it was a good movie in the overarching theme of the MCU. It was a very pivotal, very important part of the whole storyline, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Continuing, as I said, with the MCU, another, I think, a game changer for Thor, number 11, Thor Ragnarok. I mean,
This one was great.
What a direction.
turn Thor on a dime.
Yep.
Like, so good.
Yeah, wait till Claire sees this one. I can't wait until I get to hear like what she thinks about this one because this one was so much fun.
Yeah.
All like the whole time.
Yeah. It's like nonstop. Like,
See, it's gonna be weird because she thinks Captain America right now is number 1 and Incredible Hulk is number 2.
Number 2.
So
She's
like,
gonna love the other Hulk then.
But when I say that she's ranked these, like, she loves all these movies so far.
Yeah.
That she's watched. So for her, she's had a hard time ranking them.
Yep.
I think she's just put in a ranking in there just to shut me up.
Yeah. There's room for growth, though.
And who knows? Maybe after we watch them all, she'll be like, "Ooh, you know what? I like this one better because of this situation, or this scene, or this story."
Is Guardians of the Galaxy PG-13?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they're all PG-13, right?
Are they?
I think so.
She's gonna love those too, probably. I mean, that's impossible, like, not to have fun watching those movies.
She's watched Guardians of the Galaxy both 1 and 2. You know, those are her favorites. So I know that she's going to have Guardians of the Galaxy. Once that movie comes, it's gonna go to the top of the list. She loves it. She loves it.
Very nice. Well, guys, we are approaching the top of the list, the top 10 no less, and yet we're not quite there yet. We're going to put a pin in it.
We love our movies. We are
We
not
love
shutting
to-
up. I thought we loved video games. Apparently, we love movies.
Yep.
Well, there was enough of the video games that Ronnie hadn't played that, you know, we could brush by, but we're in the top 50. We've all seen pretty much all these movies, and
We're in the
have
end
something
game
to
now.
say, so we are in the end game
Good call.
for sure.
Yeah.
Indeed. So we're gonna put a pin in it. We're just making this a three-parter. The GMG
trilogy.
MAFT Top 100 trilogy. Yes, I like that. So that's all for our third of the Mega Mound of Masterpiece movies. And as is tradition, going to throw out some quick housekeeping to you because we always want to offer you pillows, fluff them towels, however that works. Put some Andy's
Fluff 'em
candies
up.
on it.
I love me some
Yep.
fluffy towels, man.
Fluffy towels are the best. And tip you off to the GMG news you need to know. The GMG stream team is full steam ahead, or full stream ahead,
Hey.
as it were.
Whoa,
Hey,
nice.
Sunday to Saturday. Marc is, of course, heading up Saturday nights, and then the occasional bonus night.
Including tomorrow
time to
night.
time, including tomorrow.
Yep. I'll be streaming the season opener of Apex Season 10.
There you go. He's all about them multiplayer games at the moment. Fortnite, Apex, Halo Infinite, you name the multiplayer, he'll join you.
Yep.
Chris and myself are
Unless
playing
it's Rocket
early in
League.
the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless
unless
it's
it's that's true.
If you get gridiron
Good call,
in there.
Ronnie. Good call.
I
Ronnie.
mean, when it comes
Gridiron
back,
back.
you'll be the first one to know.
we will call you up
Yeah.
and we will play. Chris and I are still going through Borderlands 2. I'm working on the Bioshock series and Dead Cells, and then of course randomly playing baby platinum games because it's fun for me for whatever reason. So find us at twitch.tv to hang out and chat and play some video games. If you're into tweeting on Twitter, discussing on Discord, you can come hang out with us. We have a link in the show notes on Twitter that you can click on and join us there. Rate and review us, please, on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Stitcher. We have yet to get a review in 2021. A little bit of a dry spell, but I'm feeling good about the second half. Let's go. Let's get some stars, get some reviews. Let us know. Let your voice be heard for how you're feeling about, our show. Speaking of what should be heard, I think there is something.
Well, we can mention something.
We can.
Ooh.
Because next week, maybe, we'll be unveiling the nominations, the first few nominations for the GMG ST100, the Good Morning Guys Song Top 100 list. Is there something you want to say about that, Mark? I got.
Well, yeah, basically
nothing to transition to.
Yeah, so that'll be our next list is our top 100 songs, which is already, I can smell it in the water. That this is gonna be good. It's gonna be real interesting. But so yeah, each of us will give our own submission each week, and then as part of the new segment, we'll be dropping some facts about each of the songs, a little bit of the history, a little bit of factoids about each song
video
to make things interesting. Yeah, I wish I could make that like pop up, but yeah, so we'll be doing some fun stuff with that, and yeah, start it up next week.
Nice.
Sweet. Alrighty then, Pat, Mark, and Ronnie J, along with you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners. Go get your good morning this week, and may God bless and guide your lives as we live, as you work, and as you game.